The cargo bay of the interstellar transport ship Silver Comet was loud with machinery and voices. Crates moved across the metal floor. Cargo drones hovered slowly between loading lanes. Workers from different species shouted instructions to each other. Near the far wall, a human woman worked quietly. She lifted supply containers one by one and stacked them onto a transport sled. Nothing about her looked special except the jacket. It was old, very old. The brown fabric had faded with time. The sleeves were patched many times. A long repair stitch ran across the back. One shoulder carried a dark burn mark too. Most travelers, she looked like a tired cargo worker wearing clothing that should have been thrown away years ago. By the cargo deck, a group of young alien cadets leaned over a rail. They watched the workers below with amusement. One of them pointed down toward the woman. "Look at that human," he said. The others followed his gaze, then laughter started. Another cadet spoke loudly, "That jacket looks like it survived 3 wars. More laughter. A third cadet added, "Maybe it came from a museum on Earth." A group laughed harder. The human woman heard them, but she did not react. She simply lifted another crate and pushed it across the deck. One cadet shook his head. "Humans are strange," he said. "Their technology is impressive, but their fashion is terrible." The cadets laughed again. One of them decided to get closer. He climbed down the ladder and stepped onto the cargo floor. His friends followed him. Soon they stood only a few meters from the human woman. Up close, the jacket looked even worse. Old patches, burned fabric, repair stitches everywhere. The cadets circled her slowly. "Human," he said, "did you lose a bet?" The woman kept working. The cadet continued speaking, "Because no sane person would still wear that jacket." More laughter from his friends. The cadet reached out and lightly tapped the sleeve. "You no markets sell new clothing. You do not have to wear garbage." Several cargo workers stopped moving. Humans nearby watched quietly. The woman slowly placed the crate on the sled. Then she stood upright. Her eyes were "Come, I like this jacket," she said quietly. The cadets laughed again. One of them replied, "Of course you do. Humans love useless sentimental things." The woman did not argue. She simply returned to her work. Footsteps echoed from the far entrance of the cargo bay. Heavy footsteps, kind that belonged to military officers. A group of armored guards entered the bay. At their center walked a tall alien with dark battle armor. His presence immediately changed the atmosphere. Workers stepped aside. Conversations stopped. Everyone recognized him. General Koresh of the 7th Defense Fleet, commander, famous across several star systems. The cadets instantly stood straight. They saluted. General Koresh barely noticed them. His eyes scanned the cargo bay. Then suddenly he stopped, walking. His gaze locked onto the human woman in the worn jacket. For a moment the general did not move. Then he slowly stepped forward. His armored boots echoed against the deck. The cadets assumed he would pass them. Instead, he stopped directly in front of the woman. The entire cargo bay grew quiet. The woman looked up. Calmly, recognition appeared in the general's eyes. Then something shocking happened. Koresh lowered his head in a deep, respectful bow gesture of honor among his species. The cadets stared in disbelief. The general spoke. "Commander Alina Ward, it is an honor to see you again." The cargo bay remained silent. The woman gave a small nod. "Good to see you too, General." The cadets looked at each other with confusion. "Commander General." Koresh studied the worn jacket. "You still wear it," he said. The woman smiled faintly. "It still works." The general slowly turned toward the cadets. His expression hardened. You know what jacket this is?" The cadets shook their heads nervously. One of them answered, "No, Sir Gennaro." "Sir General?" Koresh looked back at the jacket. This jacket was worn during the Battle of Hollow Ring. Few crew members gasped. That battle was legendary. The general continued speaking. My fleet arrived near the end of that battle when we entered the system. The enemy raider fleet should have already captured the station instead. We saw something unexpected. A single human cruiser guarding the ring station. The ship was badly damaged, shields, destroyed hull, ruptured weapons, overheated, yet it was still fighting, still blocking the enemy fleet. General Koresh gestured toward the woman. That cruiser was under her command. The cadets stared at her. The general continued, Commander Ward and her crew had been fighting for 19 hours. They were outnumbered 6-1. Their engines were destroyed during the first attack, but they refused to retreat. The cadets listened silently. General Koresh pointed toward the burn mark on the shoulder of the jacket. That mark happened when a plasma conduit exploded on the bridge. Fire spread across the command deck. Most captains would have evacuated. She stayed at the command consoles, still directing the battle. The cadets looked closer at the burn mark. It no longer looked like simple damage. It looked like a scar. The general pointed at the long repair stitch across the back. Enemy boarders cut through the hull during the 12th hour. They attempted to seize the reactor. Commander Ward lead the defense team herself. They fought in zero gravity inside a broken corridor, using tools and sidearms. They stopped the boarding party. Cargo workers around them listened in silence. The general continued, by the time my fleet arrived, her cruiser had almost nothing left. No shields, no engines, only a few working weapons. But the enemy fleet had already begun retreating. They believed more human reinforcements were coming, but there were none. Only one damaged cruiser and a captain who refused to surrender. The cadets slowly stepped back. Their earlier laughter felt embarrassing. General Koresh looked at them. That stand saved 3 nearby colonies, millions of civilians. The cadet who had touched the jacket lowered his eyes. The general added quietly, and many members of her crew died. Holding that line, silence filled the cargo bay. The woman gently adjusted the sleeve of the jacket. General Koresh spoke again. My people, remember that battle. Your courage saved our home worlds. The woman shrugged slightly. We did what needed to be done. The general shook his head. No, did what most commanders could. Noth straightened and gave a formal salute. The highest salute used in his fleet. The cadets were stunned. The cadet who mocked her earlier stepped forward. Ward, I apologize for what we said. We did not understand. The woman looked at him calmly. Then she nodded. Just remember something, she said. The cadet waited. She lightly tapped the worn sleeve of her jacket. Old things are not always worthless. Sometimes they carry history. The cadets stood silently. No one laughed. Now around them the cargo bay slowly returned to work. Machines moved again. Workers lifted crates, but every alien who looked at the worn Earth jacket saw something different now. Not an old piece of clothing, but a symbol of a battle. A symbol of a crew who held the line, and the quiet human woman who once stood between an enemy fleet. Tanned an entire part of the galaxy while wearing that same worn Earth jacket.